Well, hello, welcome to our preview for round 3 of the Guinness Six Nations. And look, it's not Tom May. Oh, we've got a Scotsman in the building, so I decided to wear some tartan for the occasion. Welcome, Rory Lawson, how are you?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, pumped for another weekend of Guinness Six Nations action.
Yeah, it should be good. Let's start then, of course, chronologically, as we always do. 2:15 on Saturday. It is, of course, France against Scotland. Greg Laidlaw was made to play the full 80 last week. That would have gone down well.
Always.
Yeah, for France. Oh, sorry, in France. And those changes then for Scotland. It's Pete Horne at 10 with Finn Russell unavailable. Magnus Bradbury in for Ryan Wilson. Nick Grigg for Hugh Jones and Blair Kinghorn for Stuart Hogg. Of course, Kinghorn came on pretty early in that last game anyway. But a bit of an injury-concerned look to Scotland's side.
Yeah, the injuries just keep mounting. I think Gregor Townsend would have liked to think that his squad would get healthier as the tournament went on, but the Irish game really took its toll. And when you add the injury to WP Nel from the opener as well, by my calculation from the starting 15, you've probably got 7 frontliners in that 15. So there are more guys who aren't first choice than there are first choice, which is a big test. They're going to Paris, whereby Scotland have never won in the Six Nations. Obviously, there's some great memories for Gregor Townsend.
It's still amazing, that stat, isn't it?
It is. But look, at the end of the day, the luck has gone against Scotland here. I still think that is an exciting Scotland team. And on paper, against a French side who are all over the shop at the moment, I still think they can go out and do a job.
There's that classic Scottish optimism we've come to know and love. The French team, Dupont and Ntamak, actually starting Dupont, so Brunel has had, maybe a stroke in terms of working out his selection at last. Ntamak at 10, we saw him obviously in round 1. More of a 12 playing at 10. Power and Lopez out, dropped. Did they speak out of turn? That's a big question there. Fiku Bastro in the middle and Ramos at 15. Your thoughts on the French?
Yeah, bizarrely, he's picked people in their actual positions. Huget on the wing, Ramos at fullback's an excellent player. He's having a really good season with Toulouse. I think the half-back pairing are very good. They're young, they're inexperienced. There'll be an area whereby if Scotland allow them to settle, they can be incredibly dangerous. I saw Ntamak at the Under-20s World Cup where France won it. He's an exceptional player. He was playing 12 on that occasion outside Toulon's Louis Carbonel. He's in the pivotal position. We'll see. If he gets free rein and he goes to play, we'll wait and see. But the French rugby team are all politicians, and right now I'm not sure they're happy playing for the party that they're representing. So it's whether the leaders within the group have said, let's go out and represent us as individuals this weekend and go and attack Scotland, or whether they stick with Jacques Brunel. Yeah,
it just feels like so often you have a splintered French contingent, not necessarily playing as one team. France last lost 3 games in a row in 2013 in terms of starting the Six Nations. Scotland, a little stat for you, 5 of their 6 tries have been scored within the first 3 phases. Does that tell us much about Gregor Townsend's style?
It tells you that he likes scoring off the first 3 phases. Look, strike moves. Ultimately for them, set piece they've got to nail that, because at the end of the day, if you can nail down 8 forwards in one small area, then you're creating one-on-ones. And we know that Scotland have some outstanding individuals in that one-on-one scenario. So I'm excited to see Sam Johnson continue to develop in an international jersey. Pete Horne gets the nod at 10. He had a fantastic game for Glasgow at the weekend in that role. And look, at the end of the day, Blair Kinghorn is a fine replacement for Stuart Hogg, and Nick Grigg is an absolute cannonball at 13. So there's excitement within that squad. It emphasises the depth that Gregor has. But look, this is a side who are going out to Paris to play a French team who now Scotland are expected to beat. So that is a challenge, because there are a lot of injuries to key positions, to key men. Without Finn Russell, Scotland are a slightly different threat.
Yeah, okay, well we look forward to that one. 2:15 kickoff on Saturday. It will be followed at the Millennium Stadium, or the Principality I should be calling it. I don't know how many years, I'm not going to get that right. Of course the 2 unbeaten sides in the competition. Wales, who, they've gone with Anscombe at 10. There's going to be a lovely battle in the second row between 2 former British and Irish Lions who started that first test together in New Zealand. Alan Wynne-Jones and George Cruz, who know each other from there. Liam Williams at 15, still no sign of Lee Halfpenny. And then as far as England are concerned, those 2 changes with Makavuna Polar out, it's Ben Moon who gets the start ahead of Ellis Genge. Eddie Jones saying that he thinks Ellis Genge is potentially going to be one of the best carrying props in the world, having played number 8 and wing previously. Jack Nowell is in for Chris Ashton, slightly different player, but arguably England enjoying the luxuries of less injuries and almost 2 players in each position they can pick from now.
Yeah, very much so. And look, whatever Eddie Jones says, England are going into it as favourites.
Yeah.
Having said that, Warren Gatland is the master of these games. He loves the big occasion. He loves building teams towards the big occasion. And there is no bigger occasion for Wales than hosting England at the Principality Stadium. So, I looked at both teams on paper as a neutral, and it's fascinating. It's going to be such an epic event at the Principality on Saturday night. I do think, for me, Mako Vunipola is a huge, huge loss for England, because the way that you look at it, well, the way that I looked at it, from an outsider looking in the first 2 rounds, you have Billy and Mako and Manu Tuolangi. Now, with those 3 carriers, you've always got one of them as at least a threat, if not the ball carrier, to create front line. So you've got gain line all day.
Yeah.
Now, Ben Moon is a different prop to Mako Vunipola, so therefore it puts more emphasis on your Vunipola-Tuolangi axis.
Yeah.
You've still got the threats in the outside channels. You've still got your Dailies and Mays and Nowells.
And more needed from the likes of Mark Wilston as well, and Tom Curry in that carrying aspect.
Exactly. But those guys to date have been the glue. They've been the guys that smash the rucks. They've been the guys that scavenge a bit of ball, make tackles all day long. Now they're also going to have to be the guys to step up and carry that a little bit more. So for me, that's where the interest comes. I'm sure Sean Edwards will have a thing or two to say defensively about how Wales go about stopping the English juggernaut. And when Wales have the ball, I think Anscombe is naturally going to have to run the show. The likes of George North are going to have their biggest game in a Wales jersey for a long time. I like the balance of the midfield with Hadley Parkes and Jonathan Davies. And we all know that Alan Wynne-Jones and Ken Owens, Ross Moriarty are going to absolutely relish these sort of nights. And I do think with the Tipperick Navidi, they're probably going to win that battle on the ground. So it's too tough to call. England rightfully favourites. But can they take the game they're going to need to win? We'll wait and see.
Yeah, are you looking forward to it more than France against Scotland?
It'll be really enjoyable to enjoy a Guinness while watching it after Scotland beat France for the first time in the Six Nations.
Excellent, thank you, Rory, for that. England, of course, have won 5 of the last battles against Wales in the Six Nations. So back to 2013, from when they last lost. Set to be fascinating on Saturday. Then just a quick mention of Sunday's game. Of course, it is Ireland going over to Italy. Joe Schmidt and Conor O'Shea yet to name their sides as we record our preview. A quick line on what you expect in Rome.
I expect an Ireland win.
Yeah.
I expect Ireland to chase a bonus point and try and build their attacking game and develop that, because let's be honest, against England and Scotland, it's not been at its sharpest. Certainly nowhere near Joe Schmidt where he expects Ireland to be week in, week out. I'd like to see Conor O'Shea's Italian side develop. They're without Sergio Parisse, as we understand it. So great opportunity for some younger guys to go in there and force a case. Italy are developing. They're not improving quicker than the other teams continue to improve. Yeah. And for me at the moment, there is that gulf. Right now, Italian rugby have to continue to try and improve week in, week out. They've got to try and build a bit of trust in their home support. They've not won at the Stadio Olimpico for 6 years, which is an awful long time to continue to go and watch your team without wins in the Six Nations. But for me, they've got to try and build enough positivity so that they go into the last round against France and can maybe turn them over. Yeah,
anything could happen in that game. Certainly, we'll look forward to that one a little bit later. My thanks to Rory. It's not the Six Nations without a bit of Bill McLaren in the bloodline, and so an honour to have Rory helping out while Tom, I think, is just jet-setting off to somewhere lovely. He'll be back for round 4. Enjoy it wherever you're watching this weekend. Once again, my thanks to Rory, and here comes round 3 of the Guinness Six Nations.